Hi, Fala. I'm Carly, and I'm from BC,
Hello.
which is
Hi.
Britain's East and Southeast Asian network. So we're a grassroots organisation that was founded last year that campaigns for fairer representation in the UK, as well as platforming EC or East and Southeast Asian voices. So firstly,
Amazing.
congratulations on the film and your
Thank
performance.
you so
It's
much.
so brilliant to meet you virtually. I actually vividly remember first seeing you as Ting Ting in Yi Hoi Ho Ting, which
Oh my
really
God.
left the mark on me. Yeah, I really love that. One of my favorite dramas out
Oh,
there. And obviously it did for a lot of other people because you won awards for that role. Now,
yeah.
following that, you've continued to grow and you even moved back to the States. And I wanted to ask, how did you and have you found that move? Was it difficult to go from previously being part of the mainstream as a recognized actor in Hong Kong and in China to now being somewhat marginalized as a woman of color in the West and in Hollywood in particular?
I think I really wasn't thinking about working that much when I decided to audition for drama schools. I really just wanted to find a different environment, different space to explore myself and my craft. So, I knew the program would be very long, 4 years. So I wasn't really thinking too much about, work beyond that because, I was like, oh, I'll be like much older and, I'll be away from the industry for so long. No one will remember me. I'm just going to focus on my school. And so, yeah, it wasn't really part of the plan to really like start working in Hollywood or anything like that. So, but 4 years really passed by quickly. And that was like a really enjoyable experience. And I'm very, very glad I did it. And then after graduation, one thing just happened another, like after another. And I was just kind of going with the flow at the time. And then, same with this film, it was just an offer that came to me that, I was really not expecting at all. I'd say, it wasn't like an active choice. Sometimes you just kind of have to like give your best and follow your heart and do what you love to do. And then, things will happen.
And you've really flourished, in that move. And I wanted to ask as well, with the timing of Shang-Chi's making and release, which has been widely praised not only for its significant EC and also AAPI representation, but also at a time of heightened trauma faced by our community. Now, you've been vocal about the discrimination faced by ECs globally right from the start, and more recently also publicly supported the Stop Asian Hate movement. The film, the cast, everything has invoked profound feelings of unity and pride of our shared heritage and commonalities across all East and Southeast Asians. How has this been for you?
For me, it's also such an important moment because, not only what we've been seeing in the past, a year and a half, the rise of like hate against Asians, actually all around the world. But also I feel like it's just, long due in terms of our representation in the mainstream media globally. So I'm very honored to be part of this film, and I'm really glad that this is not just a one film, one time appearance, but I feel like, especially for Shang-Chi, like Simu's character, he will continue to go on in the Marvel universe, and there will be many, many more characters and stories to be developed, even just within Marvel. But I think it will just definitely open the door for many other films in the mainstream media for spaces for Asian representation.
Exactly. And that visibility is so important. And I recognize that much of the film is in both Mandarin and English. Mm-hmm. Now, as a fellow diaspora Chinese, hearing this in a mainstream, Hollywood Western film, it really moved me because it meant that we no longer had to accommodate or feel embarrassed about speaking in our mother tongues. Yes. Now, if I recall correctly, if not all, or most of your dialogue was in Mandarin, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. Was it your choice or was it a collective decision?
It was a choice by the production, by the creatives. It was written, the original script was written in English, but they always planned for the characters who came from, Talo, the village where my character came from, to speak Chinese. So it was very clear from the very beginning. I had a conversation with Destin, our director. He specifically wanted to be very authentic. He wanted the characters to speak their own languages and to add that layer of culture and color and depth to the characters. And I thought that was just the most, rewarding experience I had. Also, I think I don't know, especially as someone who speaks Chinese, I'm sure it added a lot of, different nuance to the characters, and it feels very different. And I think it's the same, probably, hopefully, for the rest of the audience in the world, that they we would normalize our language in the mainstream media as well. And yeah, and I think subtitles great. If people get used to reading subtitles in films, you get to watch, so many different types of films from all over the world, and not just in Chinese language, but any language, and that will open your world up, in the cinema for you. So I think this is a great step that Marvel's taking.
Definitely. And I have to say, just hearing you speak in Mandarin, it made me cry a couple of times. It was so lovely.
Thank you.
And needless to say, this is going to have an immense impact on EC kids all around the world today, especially those with a Chinese background, and hopefully for many generations to come. Because not only will they be able to watch this with their friends and their parents and relatives, but they'll also be able to see themselves. So what do you hope Shang-Chi will inspire?
Just like you said, I hope it not only inspires us, but it will inspire generations to come. Hopefully, this will become a classic. And I just recently had a daughter myself, and thank you. And I'm so glad she will grow up to see some superheroes and heroines who look like her, and maybe even she will dress up like one of the characters. I'm planning on dress her up for Halloween. And yeah, that would be really cute.
That's super. And I wanted to ask as well, going forward, what other EC narratives would you like to see being showcased on screen?
Oh gosh, like anything. I hope, first of all, for our film, I feel like this is not just, a one-off independent origin story, but it will open, that whole world to the audience, and we'll see more expanded stories for each characters. Selfishly, obviously, I hope my characters will get, some kind of comeback for other Marvel, films. And I hope to not only appear in like Talo and our world, but also kind of maybe we can travel space and time to other spaces as well, to interact with other Marvel superheroes. Yeah, that would be really, really exciting.
Super. And lastly, one final question: rice or noodles?
Rice.
Rice, yes, another fan.
I'm from the south, south of China. So yeah, definitely rice.
Listen, thank you so much. And
thank you.
You allow me to speak in Cantonese. 真係好開心見到你. So,
我都係啊.
Thank you so much.
唔該晒。
我唔使。
多謝支持，拜拜。
Thank you, bye.